Hey, before I even get started, I just want to point this out right off the bat, just in case. I was coming up to my elevator. I was coming up to my floor through the elevator, and the elevator I was on. I don't know if it was EDF, whatever symbol represents the elevator. It glitched out like as I was getting to the sixth floor. Went completely black. I think it glitched on the screen as well, and got scared from it. I thank God that I didn't like it didn't just fall down and splat. But let's leaving that here just in case. But kind of to the main point now. Research fair. So after the TED talk, I mentioned I had the research fair that was today. Got done, and to be honest, I wasn't sure I was going to do it until like 11:59 yesterday. So it was a quick turnaround, which I'm really happy that was able to be done. I'll get into like the consequences of that soon. But the research fair is basically where people showed off different research. So some people were associated with labs. I think some people were individual. I know I was an individual because I didn't have like any. My research was just something I wrote in class for a research paper assignment, and it's crazy how far that's going. In terms of like I'm presenting that same research at the National Conference of Undergraduate Research, and I guess to also present it at this research fair. I think was like undergraduate research and creative expression fair or something like that. Um, and that made me really happy. I think it was really awesome to just be able to like talk about my research, hear about other people's research. Even the TED Talk was really cool just to listen to other topics. I don't know if I touched on it. I think I did, but in the TED Talk video, I think I mentioned how there was this TED Talk about like AI and homework. And now as I'm saying, I remember I did, but just in case, the TED Talk was about like how um, when it comes to education, another thing we have to take into account is how can we change our assignments to ensure that students don't use AI with them in a sense? Because if an assignment can be done with AI and there's no human aspect that can be implemented into the assignment, and it also speaks to the value of the assignment itself. I think that's something we have to think about more as we make assignments, especially in these coming years. So it was a really interesting TED talk to listen to, and that was the same vibe I got from this this research fair, which was just like looking at other people's research posters, and this like cool topics. I know one was about Alzheimer's and APP and the correlation. Another was about this really cool idea of like as you read a novel based on your behavioral patterns and facial patterns, it kind of generates like the novel based off of that. I think um, personally, I don't know how excited I would be for it in the use of like reading and novels. Cause I actually see like an author's full thing, but for Telltale Games, I think that would be amazing. I just think it's really cool that technology is being developed in a way, just like the stuff that goes behind it. So it was really interesting listening and looking at the posters for that. And yeah, I just really love the whole thing. Another thing I also started to realize is like trajectory wise, I think I'm on a good path. I think that's something I don't think about a lot because like I'm very like tunnel vision into what I'm doing, which is not all too good. But the point still stands. Like when I take a step back and realize, oh dang, I'm doing some of these stuff as a freshman. I think that's pretty cool because I was talking to some people that they were really surprised that I was a freshman doing a research fair. They were saying a common sentiment was like, you do this more so your junior year. Um, so I think the reason that makes me happy is one, because I'm doing some cool stuff as a freshman, but two is because I know I'm not doing as good as I should be doing. So then also having that room to grow. Like if I'm doing this as a freshman and then I'm still my presentation has flaws such as like lack of structure, lack of coherence in talking, lack of just other stuff in general, then that means by my junior year I should be like 10 times that or like a million times that. And there should be no comparison between the two. And that's what just excites me. Feel like I have so much more room to improve. I get the chance to improve in a short term, fast amount of time than I probably could have if I went another route. Uh, well, yeah, I think the same thing applies for the TED Talk. That's why I was TED Talk. That's why I also said I want to do another TED Talk. I don't think I aced this one in giving it all I had, especially with my late turnaround. Like, I think my turnaround time and my procrastination are really just a hindrance that I have to start overcoming because they're really inhibiting my abilities when it comes to stuff like this. And that's something I was thinking about earlier today because with this, I decided to do at 11:59. So I made the presentation and I printed it. It cost like $25 or so, or $30. Then I realized like as right after the fair was starting, I realized there was a typo where I actually didn't put a paragraph, so it's like the default text. I'm explaining like the template for the Useless poster, so I had to go do it again and go to FedEx and spend like $39. And I was, on that whole journey, I was realizing like I have a bunch of cool opportunities I'm pursuing right now, but just because I'm doing a bunch of cool stuff doesn't mean I'm acing them. Like I did a TED Talk, right? And that's really awesome. That's really amazing. There's not a lot of people in the world who can say they did a TED Talk. But then, did I ace the TED Talk with everything I had? And I think that's something I had to take into account when I do a lot of these stuff. Like, regardless of the opportunity, it's less about the opportunity and what I put into the opportunity itself. And I think that's something I had to really hone in on these coming days and weeks and months and years. But yeah, really cool research fair. I'm probably going to do a LinkedIn, but my LinkedIn is so behind, man. I feel like I don't know if I want to do like a LinkedIn post every day or a week because it's like I have so many stuff I have to announce on my LinkedIn. Like my national conference, undergraduate research, they haven't announced my LinkedIn. TED Talk has not touched LinkedIn. NSBE has not touched LinkedIn. This has not seen the lights of LinkedIn. So um, I really want to announce that on LinkedIn because I think it's fun and cool. Um, I'm just really happy. I'm really blessed to have all of these opportunities and to be pursuing them. It's just amazing. It's a really cool experience just to be there. I think I never, I can promise like if you go back to Project Phillips, I think around like June, July, maybe even August, when I was talking about research and how I want to pursue that, like what type of research I'll do, I wouldn't imagine myself being here now where I'm presenting research, like going to like the National Conference of Undergraduate Research to go present. I think that's something that was just like, dang. And even with the TED Talk, I remember we had a TED Talk speaker conference in, I think, during the fall semester. Um, I remember thinking to myself, oh, I'm not presenting now, but like maybe soon one day I'll be. And the next semester I'm presenting a TED Talk. And I think that's just like such a cool aspect of my life of how like everything connects, which is kind of the point of the TED Talk. But it's just really cool to see how stuff just so quickly change and develop and just see that growth. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think this was one of the last major events I had to invest in on my side. So now it's really just going back to building stuff and working on my job, which I really do like. I'm excited. I do want to rest, like take a day where I take it a bit slow because there's been like a project every day. Yesterday's project was like the announcement video, which I actually really like, um, which was surprising because like sometimes I make a video like and I post, I'm like oh so worried. Like this time I was like, dang, that's a good video. Um, Man, I think that's it. I think there's nothing else I really want to talk about. I don't think there's any big events coming up soon that I'm really worried about. Obviously, Sutherland has its own events. So, like, we have a formal coming up, we have a spring carnival coming up. Uh, so, obviously, that's going to be important. But I think it's going to be really cool to see. And also, there's actually more stuff to talk about, but less events, more follow up stuff. I think the epilogue of a lot of the stuff I've been working on. But besides that, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.